Government moves to recover 614 billion naira loan from states. Federation Accounts Allocation Committee shared 769.523 billion naira for the month of July 2019. Federal government to overhaul refineries to drive local production. Price of beans crashes in Katsina market just as Asian stocks respond to tensions between Japan and South Korea. Details of these and more on this edition of Business Express. I am Muplang Dakok. President Muhammadu Buhari on Thursday inaugurated the newly completed Postgraduate Center of Excellence at the Ahmadu Bello University, ABU Zaria, constructed and donated to the institution by the Central Bank of Nigeria. The president said the construction of the project was a testimony of his administration's effort at supporting qualitative learning. Leah Katun Babatunde reports.
This magnificent infrastructure is sitting on an area that is more than 34,000 square meters. It is one of the 3 already established centers of excellence by the Central Bank of Nigeria, situated in Zaria, Ibadan and Enugu. At more than 7 billion naira to erect a structure like this, postgraduate education in finance-related courses has come at a better time for Nigeria, and President Muhammadu Buhari is telling Nigerians that more investment will be put in place for education to take its center place to meet the population's demand of better education, better society and better development for Nigeria.
We are committed and determined to continue to fund our vital institutions, even in the face of limited financial resources. In line with this renewed commitment, during the first 4 years, we invested close to 1.3 trillion naira towards the development of our educational sector. This amount does not include funds spent on overheads and personal costs. Access to quality education in tertiary institutions will enable young Nigerians to make meaningful contributions towards the development of our nation, irrespective of birth, income status, religion, or ethnicity.
Governor of the Central Bank, Godwin Emefiele, says the Apex Bank will be doing much more in a couple of years for medical sciences to reduce the cost of medical treatment abroad.
Education and health form the bedrock of any country's development. Now that we have sowed seed in the area of education, the CBN intends, we plan to build first diagnostic centers. Like, you know, diagnostics is also the bedrock of medicine. We are building diagnostic centers in the 6 geopolitical zones in the country, together with one, that is 7th one, in the National Hospital in Abuja. The one in Abuja would also have heart center as well as cancer center.
It's not really for massification of education. It is actually for enhancing the quality of the education.
Now 6 more facilities just like this are going to spring up in the coming years across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. For the university community, maintenance is key to ensure that the structure meets the desired impact it was made to Ghana for the Nigerian public and for the good of the nation.
The federal government says it has begun moves to recover the 614 billion naira budget support loan it gave to 35 states of the federation. Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning Zainab Ahmed gave the indication while briefing State House correspondents following the National Economic Council meeting in Abuja.
Council agreed to constitute a team of the Nigerian Governors Forum, Ministry of Finance and the Central Bank to finalize modalities to commence repayments of this facility to the Central Bank.
Meanwhile, the Federation Accounts Allocation Committee, FAC, has shared 769.523 billion naira to the 3 tiers of government for the month of July 2019. A communique at the end of the meeting in Abuja reveals that the said amount was made up of revenue from value-added tax, VAT, exchange gain and gross statutory revenue. The committee announced that as at 22nd August 2019, the balance in the excess crude account was $274.407 million. The gross statutory revenue for the month of July 2019 was 674.365 billion naira. This is higher than the 652.949 billion naira received in the previous month. Consequently, the federal government received 299.799 billion naira, while states received 190.381 billion naira, while the local government councils received 143.569 billion naira. And the dollar held steady in Asia on Friday ahead of U.S. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell's speech. And the power sector will soon get another intervention of 600 billion naira from the federal government, mainly for payment of shortfall in monthly invoices. Managing Director of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, Usman Mohammed, stated this at the Power Sector Operators Participation and Key Stakeholders 2019 Third Quarter Interactive Forum, with power still a critical need for the economic survival, yet to reach optimum levels. The federal government has been intervening in the power sector. The release of the latest amount will make it the third key intervention so far carried out by the government after it officially handed over the distribution and generation arms of the sector to private investors in November 2013. To examine the benefits inherent in the power sector against the backdrop of the recent intervention fund injection is a power infrastructure consultant, Idris Mohammed. Welcome to Business Express.
Thank you, Moplan. It's nice to have you viewers. It's nice to be here.
Okay. So the new appointed Minister of Power, Saleh Mamman, said that the problems in the power sector are surmountable, talking about generation, distribution, transmission. So what do you think about that?
The Honorable Minister of Power has made that declaration during his inaugural speech with the press. I believe what he is saying is that the government has on its own taken full account of all the issues that have been militating against the effective performance of Nigeria's power sector in terms of funding. Therefore, the government decided that whatever fund is required to actually get the power sector to effective performance has been provided by the government. If fund that is a major factor that is militating against the major performance of the sector has been provided, then it is now time to effectively monitor the implementation and the use of the fund that has been provided by the government, in order to see are these funds being judiciously utilized by the various sectors of the power sector. If that is going on well and the result is not coming out of it, then it means that something is wrong.
Okay, the president yesterday, that's Thursday, announced an approval of 600 billion naira for the power sector. So how do you think this can improve power in the country?
I see that as the last solution, intervention that the president is making in order to address the issue of funding in the power sector. The president will provide 701 billion. They will say there is still issue of funding. The president will provide 213 billion. They will say there is still an issue of funding. The president has now said, okay, what is the major issue that is militating against this power sector? And they said, okay, the market is not working. The market should be working. And he said, okay, what is it that you require to get this market to work? And they gave him a request that, okay, it would need about 600 billion. For the president to approve 600 billion in a market that is a privatized electricity market, it means that the president is magnanimous. Now, the use of this 601 billion, if effectively used, would bring in the desired capitalization of the electricity market, which the investors have been yearning for, and then it will bring in foreign investors that are interested in the electricity market.
You talked about different funds released to the power sector previously, and even this one. So how is this one different? Do you think this one will be able to, you know, do the magic that is needed for the power sector?
Yes, why this one will do the magic is because the market operator is the center of funding of the electricity market. The market operator collects all the electricity funds that have been generated by the distribution companies, and then it will also, in line with the contracts, disburse those funds to the other part of the value chain, like the generation, the transmission, and all of that. Now, if that fund is not available, it's a big factor that is militating against the result we are getting from Nigeria's power sector. And if the president has been magnanimous to provide the 600 billion, is saying that, okay, this is your time. It's now time for me to watch you and see what next you will tell me. I hope that the players appreciate the magnanimity of the president in ensuring that all issues of funding have been fully addressed, and this is the last time.
Talking about the players, the private sector has, or rather the power sector has been a privatized one. So do you see the private sector living up to its expectation with this new fund, and did it live up to expectation even before this new fund?
Well, I have said it time and again that the Nigerian power sector, the major issue that actually is militating against it is the performance of the distribution company. The distribution companies, they are what will I say, the center of the financial activities of the privatized companies. And then if you look in terms of inadequacy of funding, and then the Nigerian bulk electricity trader is also saying that it is, insolvent. It has serious issues of funding. It cannot fund the power sector. And then also the government has also intervened by providing the 601 billion. It is expected that if this fund is used judiciously, issues of inability to maintain contract, sanctity of contracts would have been addressed.
Very quickly, what needs to be done for the public and private partnership so that the power sector can work in Nigeria?
The first thing to do is to make sure that the balance sheets of these companies is attractive to foreign investors. Now, the essence of providing this 600 billion is to ensure that all the major players, all the value chain operators, the gencos, the transmission, the distribution companies, they used it very well to beef up their revenues, and then so that their balance sheet will be attractive to investors that will bring in the required funding to support the market.
Okay. Thank you very much for coming on our program today, Mr. Idris Mohammed,
Thank you,
a consultant in the power sector.
Thank you, Moplan.
To discuss trends and possible expectations from the Nigerian stock market is a stockbroker, Kola Oyedokun. Thank you for coming on Business Express.
Thank you for having me, Moplan.
Okay. So many people blame the downturn in the Nigerian stock market to panic selling. What do you think about that? Do you think the same thing?
Yeah, they are correct. You see, many of the investors per se, they are not real investors, they are traders. And they are treating capital market as money market. They want quick gain. And most of them are engaged in what we call hedge mentality. When they see people selling, they sell. When they see prices going down, they believe that we continue to go down, and they sell. And you know, it's like self-fulfilled prophecy. You understand? Unfortunately, in this climate, many people don't do research. When you buy stocks with good fundamental, whether the price goes up or comes down, you still hold on, expecting certain percentage return. Not that when you see people selling, you go on selling. You understand? That's why the problem is there. People follow the multitude, or what you call it.
Okay. So, but analysis has shown that corporate earnings have been high. Many companies have posted high earnings and good returns. Yet, the market seems to be neither here nor there. What could be the possible reason for this?
Yeah, it's a follow-up of the head mentality and the belief in some quarters that when there's going to be a change of government, things will get worse. You know, government is a continuum. Nigeria is a separate country that will exist forever. So whether there's change of government or not, the economy will still remain the same. So many people are afraid, they are apprehensive that maybe something untoward may happen. Some people have even run out of the country because of the fear.
But I would have thought that that happened before the elections, before the announcement of the winner. Now that we have a winner, why is the market still down?
Yeah, we have a winner, you know, but people are still expecting that the cabinet should be constituted.
Okay.
You find out that since, was it Wednesday that the ministers were inaugurated, the market has been gaining. The market has been positive. Unlike last week where the market declined by 1.40%, this week I think it gained about 3.25%. You see, on Wednesday, after the announcement, the market gained about 1.09. The following day, Thursday, 1.01. And today, I think 0.62. So the market thrives on positive information. When you see information that can drive the market will go up. But when there is, when we don't believe in our system and we are carrying negative reports, then the market will go down.
Okay, let's talk about the investors. Many people say that they don't seem, talking about the investors, that they don't seem to take sound professional advice from stockbrokers in the country. Do you agree with this? And then what do you think these investors need to do in the market?
In fact, when a new stock is coming for listing, they will tell you that the prospectus is not an investment advice that you should go and consult your private investors. People don't do research. You don't just buy stocks because you see the price moving. You buy stocks based on solid fundamentals. So if they consult their investors, I believe that their advisors will advise them correctly on what to buy.
Can you briefly tell us some of these solid fundamentals you talked about?
Mainly the earning per share.
Okay.
You see, like a stock that have not been making profits, you don't expect anything good from it. So what if the earning per share is okay, the management is okay, you understand, and the GRE, they are not on borrowed funds and all the rest, you find out that, and you look at maybe about 5 years performance, you look at their dividend history and all those things. So those stocks, definitely, even if the price comes down because the economy is not doing well, by the time things turn around, they were the first to go up. You see, like from the other question you asked, I think GT and Zenith, they declared 30 kobo in the interim dividend. This is the kind of dividend they were declaring when the prices were about 14 naira, 15 naira. The price of GT today is about 28. Zenith is about 18 naira, which used to be about 30 naira. GT got to about 50 naira. Now it is less than 30 naira. And they are still declaring the same fundamental. You understand? The fundamental has not declined. The returns to the shareholders is even increasing. Because if you look at the earning yields or dividend yield, it's higher. By the time you put 30 kobo upon, you understand, upon 18 naira, it's higher than 30 kobo upon 30 naira.
All right, thank you very much. That's all we can take on this
Thank you very much.
segment.
So let people not engage in panic selling.
Okay.
Investments follow the economy trend. It is cyclical. So the price will go up, it will come down and go up again. But in the long run, if they hold on, if they do it as investment, they will be smiling to the bank.
Kola Oyedokun, a stockbroker there, talking about stock market in Nigeria. Now, the NSE All Share Index appreciated today, Friday, by 0.62%. The All Share Index was 27,801.7 basis points. Volume of shares was 1.2 billion, while the value was 3.2 billion naira. Investors traded in 3,644 deals, and market capitalization was 13.5 trillion naira. The top trades was recorded by Sovereignings, FBNH, and Cordville. The gainers were Nestle, Unilever, and Guarantee Trust Bank, while the losers were Dangote Cement, Dangote Sugar, and Continental Shell. Asian stocks were mixed as Japan-South Korea tensions escalate. Bosede Abel reports.
Investors anxiously await the speech from Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell late on Friday, 23rd August, for hints of future interest rate cuts. This, however, saw most stocks around the globe soaring higher. European stocks traded higher in early trading as investors await the speech from the U.S. Federal Reserve Chairman. Major Asia stocks rose at the close of trade as investors looked ahead to an important speech from the U.S. Federal Reserve Chairman later in the day. Nikkei rose 0.4% to close at 20,710.91. Hang Seng Index topped 0.5% and Shanghai Composite also gained 0.49%. Stocks in the United States were higher as market participants await the key speech from the Federal Reserve's top official. Earlier, Dow Future rose 84 points, indicating a positive open of more than 68 points. Futures on the S&P and Nasdaq Composite were both slightly higher. In Africa, stocks were mostly negative, while Tunisia's Tunidex posted gains.
Thank you, Bosse. And that brings us to the end of this edition of Business Express. You can access all previous episodes on YouTube, and you can also communicate with us on Twitter. The handle is @NTA News Now. The hashtag is BizX. Join us again next week, Monday, for the next edition of the program. I am Muplang Dakok.